Hello and welcome back to part 2 of our Google Drive tutorial series. I again am Alex Carlson. Um, Last time in part 1 of our Google Drive series here, we briefly discussed an introduction to Google Drive, what it is and how it's used, as well as explored the Google Drive interface and got a little familiar with what it looks like. In part 2 here, we're going to get down to the nuts and bolts of how Drive works and actually working within Drive with those files and folders. So without further ado, let's jump right in here. Within this section here, we're going to just provide a brief introduction to files and folders within Drive, how you can use them, which types of files can be used. We'll go over creating files directly from Drive, managing your folders and files, so organizing them, uploading and downloading files and folders to and from your computer and to and from Drive, converting those files to Google format, which will be important for collaboration features, opening files in Drive, starring files, and removing, restoring, and deleting files as well. So quick introduction here. You can manage existing files and folders from your computer. So for instance, Microsoft Office files or folders that contain Microsoft Office files. You can manage those within Google Drive by uploading them or syncing them so they can be shared within the Google Cloud infrastructure. However, to collaborate in real time on those files, they'll need to be converted to Google format, which we will discuss. Drive can be used to create files directly, such as documents, spreadsheets, and slides. Really cool feature of Drive is that it immediately stores a copy of any file after it is revised. So any changes made to a file will be saved and tracked. So earlier revisions or drafts can be restored and used, which is a very flexible feature of Drive. We've touched on the idea that docs, slides, and sheets can be edited by multiple people at the same time, and Drive will track these changes in real time. So you can, if you're working on a group paper or project, you can literally see the sentences that are being typed out by your partners as you type yours as well. And a little bit of info on folders here. Nothing that should be too unfamiliar. They work the same way as they do on your computer's File Explorer, and they can be created to organize files and navigate Drive a little more efficiently. So with that, let's go ahead and launch our Drive app and get into using it. So I'll slide over here to my app. And first things first, we'll discuss creating files directly from the app here. We've touched on that briefly in part 1. Select your New button, and here are the different file types you'll be able to create. And by selecting one of those, a new window will open with that file editor in Google Docs or whatever format that you will be editing in. And the same can be done for sheets, slides, other Google document types or file types, as well as third-party file types here. Folders are going to be created much in the same way by selecting the New button and clicking Folder. You'll be prompted to name this folder, so we'll just name it Test2 Folder. And by clicking Create or pressing Enter on your keyboard, you'll go ahead and see the folder added to your drive. You see Test2 Folder here at the top. You may also want to add a subfolder or a folder within a folder, which is very easily done. Simply access the desired top-level folder, which is currently empty, and go through the same process for creating a new folder. We'll name it, in this case, Test2Sub, and there we see our subfolder appearing in Drive, or within our top-level folder. All right. One more little organizational perk of the folders here is being able to color code them. You'll see I've done that with a few of mine here. Very easy, simply highlight by single clicking the desired folder, going to More Actions, Change Color, and we'll go ahead and change it to a light green. And there you see the changes taking effect. Okay, so now let's go to the important part and how to add files to the desired folders. Just like your typical file explorer, simply highlighting a file, clicking and dragging, and dropping, and you will be prompted by a quick message just saying that anybody who can see this folder will now be able to see this file, which makes sense. So we'll go ahead and click OK. And we'll go ahead and take a peek inside that folder. We now see our added document, which in this case is a Word document, as we see. Um, Next thing we'll cover here is uploading files. You may want to upload, like we said earlier, Microsoft Office file types to your drive, and that can be done by clicking New and File Upload, which will bring you to your File Explorer. We'll just go ahead and select the document here. It will show us a progress bar showing that it's uploading, and if we go down a little lower here, now we see the recently uploaded Word document in our drive, which brings us to an important point of converting these documents, because as we said, a Word document you can share, but you won't be able to collaborate on in real time. There's a couple different ways you can convert documents. The first being selecting the settings icon, going to settings, and in the general tab, checking this box here that says convert uploaded files to Google Docs editor format. I have that box left unchecked because when I upload a file, I like it to retain an original copy of the Microsoft Office or PDF or whatever file type for sharing purposes. And in order to convert that, I'll go ahead and select it, go to our More Actions menu, and choose to open with Google Docs. And when I click that, it'll open the file in a Google Docs editor and thereby saving it directly back to my Google Drive, and we'll see there's the copy of the Google Docs format. Let's move on to opening files of different types in Drive. Something that's already in Google format, Google document format or sheets or slides, etc. Just by double clicking it, you will be brought to the document editor screen like so. Word files, PDF files, things like that. By double clicking them, you will be brought to a preview screen, as we see here, that will provide you with options to print, download, share, or open with different types of supported or connected apps, Drive connected apps. So we also are going to want to cover how to download different files to your computer. Say someone shares a Word document with you and you'd like to download it so you can work on it in Word. Again, simply select the desired document, the More Actions button, and download, and you'll see a copy of the document being downloaded to your hard drive. Couple more concepts to cover. Starring, for one, is a good way to highlight important documents that you might be using frequently. Select the desired document, go to the More Actions button again, and add a star. You'll see the star has been added. Then by going to your starred folder or navigation tab, you can see the recently starred document there. Last but not least, removing and restoring or deleting items. In order to remove an item from your drive, say you want to move it to your trash, simply highlight the desired item and you can click the trash icon here at the top to remove. You'll get a notification explaining this and allowing you to undo it. If you wanted to restore that document from your trash, you could go to your trash, highlight the desired file, and simply click restore. Alternatively, to delete that forever, you would select delete forever. Okay, so I think that about wraps up the basics of working with these files and folders in Drive. In part 3, we're going to go ahead and cover sharing files and folders, which is also a very important concept within the app. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in part 3.